everyone to our second part of the coverage here at HOODED Bowls Club. It's been great to have an interesting round first up. The match ratio score difference is roughly around 2 points, so should be an interesting matchup. In the pairs here we have HOODED LYFE and Simmons up against the Marvels, Keogh and Dowling, so should be very interesting. They're just out to get going. Just to go all items. Just getting some microphones and headsets all happening for you. So just getting some info through. Again, if there's any information, folks, please put through on the Halftime Heroes Facebook page. We'll catch up very shortly there. Just getting some little technicalities out of the way first. And again, welcome to Mornington Potential News Group for catching it live with their big numbers there watching tonight. So that's fantastic. Of course, Russ Dowling taking out the singles earlier, 21-10 in a fantastic exhibition. And Russ will be up against Todd Simmons from HOODED LYFE. Again, the first end is only worth 1 point. Phil's just gone to the bar to get his 10 beers and his 2 pots and 3 bottles of sherry. So, he's back. Sorry, Phil.
I wish I was loading the dishwasher, mate. All right, so we can tell you that as far as the games between Team Gecko and the Mulgrave Diggers are concerned. Hello? There's a second mic. All right, thank you. So I can tell you as far as the game between Team Gecko is concerned, who finished second after the round robins, and playing the third team, Mulgrave Diggers, is concerned, Team Gecko ended up with 2 wins. So they won both the singles, but they won the singles by a huge amount. And in the end, whilst being behind, Team Gecko came through and won the fours as well. So they had 2 wins with a whopping differential of plus 24 on the Mulgrave Diggers. So even if Mulgrave Diggers win both of their matches in the pairs and the triples, they have to make up 24 shots. Big ask. Bit different as far as first place HOODED LYFE are against fourth place Marvels. They had 1 in each. They lost the singles, and there is only a shot differential in the favour of HOODED LYFE of only 2 shots.
2 shots a diff, Phil.
2 shots the diff, a plus. So it is imperative, most likely, that HOODED LYFE,
AKA Farlap,
who finished the top at the end of the round robin, and I dare say with the bookies, the favourite for the whole competition, they need to win both their games, I would suggest. They can afford to win one, but of course it all comes down to the shot differential. So as we get closer to the end of this, with about half an hour to go, 15 minutes to go, it'll become extremely interesting to see what happens. Now, on the cards, it'd be interesting if I actually went back and saw in the round robin how they played to see who won. But I know that Team Gecko won comfortably. Hooded Life won comfortably in that in their round robin match. So very interesting indeed. Okay. All right, Pete. I'll just make sure that we're all shared and across the different platforms.
I think we're over around 20 platforms tonight. If anyone's chasing YouTube or Vimeo, give us a yell. I can send a link, especially if they're on Facebook, YouTube and Vimeo. Vimeo is probably the best because you get a good ad-free coverage. So no little ads or bits and pieces popping up.
So I can let all the Coringal Bowling Club members be aware that I've approved the coverage now definitely on the Coringal Facebook page as well. It's interesting, we do have a fair bit of interest. I may actually look at sharing it a little bit further, Pete.
I've shared it over to Mount Eliza, so they're watching at the moment as well, which is great.
Yeah, I'll just have a look at my groups as well. Quite amazing how we can do this. So to a group, let's have a look. Might send it down to the Rye Bowling Club. And I've done that already, have you, Peter?
I've given them the Rye Bowling Club a run.
Okay, okay. Go down.
Great supporters of Halftime Heroes. And of course they went through on Tuesday. I don't think Buzz and the like may have got through, I'm not sure.
Buzz didn't on Thursday with Crowder Comets, but the Rise Bud team did. They're playing in the final next week. Alright, what I might do is just... Alright, let's have a look.
Some good numbers chopping up on the screen. Any comments, folks, please put them through on the Halftime Heroes page, and we'll catch them up. I will tell you what I will do though is get a link, and I'll put that through as well for you. Folks, if anyone wants to, if they've got a smart TV or anything, I've just chucked the Vimeo link up there. You can have a look at that. That's ad free, of course. Russ Dowling been bowling very well tonight.
Actually, the culprit.
They've heard me, haven't they?
No, well, he was just telling me that he was obviously playing the other day, and quite a few people had commented to him that he should have had advertising on his backside, so he's kind of aware of it. Very good bowls there by Todd. Two bowls, 2 shots. Very well done.
A couple of comments back that we were playing crack bowls, but yeah, we won't go there.
Oh dear. Well, the numbers are up again, Pete.
Yeah, great to have all the
very good
viewers.
as well. We may just check again, if we may, where our viewers are coming from. Always like to give a shout out to the different areas. And there's no doubt about it, the Gippsland region is certainly picking up their interest, more so after the Vic Open that they had down there this year. Plenty of interest.
It's a congested head there, isn't it?
It is, but look at that. What 3 great bowls. Look at that. It's got it on a string. Age demographic is the same. Yes, our friends in Hayfield are still there. And you might just get a little look down there again. Yes, Traugen is still there.
So pretty much the same viewers.
Same viewers again. So thanks for viewing. Yep.
I'm a bit worried about the person tuning in from Iraq. Hello there. And the 2 people in from Pakistan, the 2 people from South Africa, and the 5 people from the United Kingdom. I bet you one of them's Matt. So g'day, Matt. I'm sure we'll get a shout out from him.
Yep, 69.3 men and 30.7% women. There we go. Most popular age demographic is age 45 to 50. Interesting what it picks up. All right, goes the score. So that is 3 shots to Hooded Life. All 3 shots, incidentally, were all Todd's. Andrew Daly says, hi, Peter.
Andrew, how you going? Great for you to join us.
One of the other nights, yeah.
Now, I'm tipping we've got 3 sound effect microphones around the rink. I'm tipping Todd's going to blow them all out of the water.
Well, he's trying to encourage, obviously, his team on. Encouraging the team next door. Be interesting to see how they're going in the triples. In the triples, they're 2-0 up. Over in Rink 4, Team Gecko and Mulgrave Diggers in the pairs are 1 shot each, as they are 1 shot each on Rink 5 in the triples. So they just have to keep the score nice and close there. They've got a buffer of some 24 shots. So they'll be, I think they'd have to have a major catastrophe for something to happen there.
We're very quiet people, Sean, so we'll pump up the volume a bit. So
pump up the volume.
of Phil's dance club just coming through the system there.
Pump up the volume, Pete.
Facebook probably will shut a block in there, but we won't mind.
Wow, that was noisy. An attempt of whip that went down sideways. Oh. Oh. Am I off? He's been bowling very well. Okay, knocked his own bowl in. It's all right, Pete. He's allowed to direct it there. Good bowling behind, but still feel 2 down.
Just had to chat to the ladies behind the mic there, Phil, and they had some. We had some sound coming through from it.
Oh, really? Okay. One down now. Close. Ooh,
Yeah, we're just getting the scores now coming through,
just one.
which takes the total to. We'll just get the score.
5-0.
5-0 in favour of.
Hooded LYFE. Hooded LYFE are also. Ooh, it's 2-all in the triples.
Right, we've got our systems up and going, and now we're back in.
Who? This guy.
That was some people out on Sky Road just having a whistle, folks. So Amazing the people you get that just travel down Sky Road there. It's very interesting. As Phil has a little chuckle in the background. Now, Phil, there's still talk out there at the moment about North and South.
Still?
And it's directed at yourself.
Me?
Yeah, in the last couple of the last comments on the last, people just talking about North and South. So I'm saying nothing's been decided yet.
What are they referring to? As in...
The MPBR?
Oh, right, yeah. No. Well, the delegates go back to their club. I believe there's a meeting, it may be the 26th, I'm not quite sure, but where they've asked for their opinions as far as that's concerned. Now, we can all have opinions, so I certainly have mine, and I think you'll find that it'll end up basically being Division 1 and working their way down. The concern is that you had two divisions when you had North and South, and you might have had that, say, in Division 2 and 3, and that clubs had a team in Division 2, say, North, and Division 2 South. So, effectively, they had two Division 2 teams. So, I think logic would dictate that you try and have your, each club would have in numerical order. I know here at Kringle, if they went through Division 1 through to 7 would probably be reasonable, but I fully understand that there are other clubs that aren't as fortunate to have that many teams at their club, and so they may be different. And because the two Division 2s then would become, say, Division 2, and the other Division 2 would become Division 3, and the two Division 3s would have to change, they're obviously then going to be lowering it further and further. So you may have played Division 5, and now the same quality of bowler will be playing in Division, say, 7 or 8, naturally, because of the two Norths and South that will move under each other, so they will move the numbers down in the divisions. I'm kind of a...
All too confusing for me, Phil.
Well, I'm kind of a visual person. If I could show it, it'd probably be good. If we had a camera, I'd get a whiteboard out and show you, Pete.
It's just, that's a school teaching you coming out, Phil.
Well, I'm a very visual person, so I would show it. So let me try and explain it. You have a Division 1, which is fine, and Division 2, you have a Division 2 North and South. Now, what they're saying is, instead of having North and South, all right, the top 6 teams, say for argument's sake, or the top half of the Division 2 North and South would amalgamate and become Division 2, and the bottom half of Division 2 North and South would form a team which would then become Division 3. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And then when you come to Division 3, you have the same situation. So what I'm saying is by doing that, you naturally then have more division and you're dropping them further. So some people might say, hang on, I was in Division 3, but now I'm already in Division 4 or 5. It's the same quality of bowls, it's just a renaming or a rebranding, if you like.
It's called the 10-year cycle.
Yeah, well, the problem is you have teams who've been right at the top of those divisions,
Who just keep on
and
winning.
last year they ended up, say, not doing so well and were in the bottom half, and they're saying, well, hang on a minute, we've been really good in Division 2, and now automatically, what, we're in Division 3? Okay, so clubs have then been asked, okay, are you happy with this? And if you're not, well, then you're to come to the delegates meeting and have your say.
Have you say? That's fair
So
call.
that's it. The other thing, of course, was temperature. They want to use the bomb rather than have these temperature gauges on everybody's out on stands all the time.
And
There happens to be a bomb here in Frankston near Kringle, so I would suggest it probably suits Kringle to go the bomb, but there might be some clubs that might be not so close to a bomb. you know what I mean, for the weather, to use that as a temperature gauge. So remembering, of course, if it does get to a certain temperature, well then, you know, matches can be abandoned. So I know that we had one delegate actually mentioned that he used to be a cricket umpire, and they used the one bomb for the whole Mornington Peninsula. Now, it could be that if you're down at Sorrento or Rosebud by the bay, it would be cooler there, for argument's sake, than if you're in Somerville, okay? But if you use the one bomb, right, then that has an issue.
Yeah.
If you have multiple bombs around the peninsula, if you had more of them, it will be a different story.
Correct.
So the question is, will everyone stay with their temperature gauges, or will they use the bomb? That's one of the questions that they do have.
How's that, Wayne? He's given that a fair trot. His pipes just chucks it near the jack there.
So I suppose the short is, it's not in cement, but if I was a betting man, I would say that the North-South will go sayonara. And the plan was to do that even a couple of seasons ago, I believe.
Yeah,
And to me, it makes common sense to do that. And for teams to not have two Division 3s, but to have 1 in 3 and 1 in 4.
Yep.
And so there's a natural progression within the club. And also, now, there may be some anomalies, of course, but as people said, water will find its mark and the better teams will adjust, give it 1 or 2 seasons, and I think you'll find that it will work out perfectly, as it did when we all formed the Division 1 for the whole Mornington Peninsula, I might add.
It's always a topic, isn't there, with the MPBR? It's always something lively to discuss.
Oh, well, I don't think the bowling region is any different than any other bowling
but
region. I know down in...
pretty healthy.
Yeah, I know down in Gippsland that they were also talking about then forming a Division 1 for the whole area down in Gippsland. But, you know, that could be people travelling from as far as Morwell all the way down to the lakes, down that area. So that's a fair bit to travel for them. It's a different, you know, Morning Peninsula, we have a whinge about it because we might, play down at Flinders or something different like that. But reality is when you're down in Gippsland, and you could play Lakes Entrance for argument's sake, and you're playing way up the other end around Morwell or somewhere like that. You're travelling, you know, hours.
Yeah, correct.
So it's totally different, and no different than, say, up in the areas around Ballarat and Bendigo and those areas up in the Mallee, the distances they travel to play. So, I mean, we're fairly fortunate if you consider it here on the Mornington Peninsula.
And we're just updating the scoreboard now.
5-1.
Marvel's taking a point there. As Russ Dowling comes in.
But Hooded Life holding 1, and the measure probably 2 actually. But he's looking to disturb the head and just misses the jack. Okay, other scores.
We're corralling our bowlers.
Yep. So we're sort of saying the metre mark either side would be a good place to be, wouldn't we?
I'd love them on the side steps, Phil.
Says me, who got in a huge amount of trouble at the Vic Open when you get a little bit focused.
So Todd Simmons now, left hand, just guides it down. Geez, there's width there, isn't there?
Wow. He's trying just to get past in case he goes in with weight. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I'd go that way.
Yeah, geez, that would be pushing the jack to the other side,
I'd
wouldn't
be
it?
going the other hand, mate.
Yeah, correct.
Without doubt. They've got the back bowl. They could come in off the blue at the front.
Yeah, that's going skinny. That might knock Todd's bowl out.
Look, it's very hard. Todd covered that with his bowl behind. So even if he came onto their blue bowl, hit the two oranges that hit the jack, it was always going to go over to Todd's bowl. So I would have come, probably up the guts. Got into the head a little bit, made a little bit of a difference. The way that Todd's going now, but I would have come the other way and with about another 2 metres of weight and sort of come in there and try to wrestle it through. So that'll be 2. Oh.
So umpire's been called. They're looking for a call. I'm seeing 2 at the moment, possibly a third. Gives you a better view there of what's happening. Probably doesn't, does it? Again, folks, any comments, put them through on the Halftime Heroes page. Can you please update the scores from the other game, Jan? Yep, not a dramas. I'll just pop out of the office here and have a look. Rightio, Jan, I can tell you Team Gecko and the Mulgrave Diggers are currently locked at 3-all in the pairs. And Team Gecko hold a lead of 5-1 in the triples. And I can tell you that Hooded LYFE have just picked up a couple here. In the triples, Hooded LYFE are leading 6-2. And I can tell you the updated score here. Hooded LYFE picking up 3 on the previous end. So that's a... Phil just going and doing some of his umpiring stuff. Nice night down here at Kringle. A good night tomorrow night. So coming down for a meal or anything like that, please book ahead. So some nice meals on course for tomorrow night. Of course, the combination of semi-finals down here with the Friday nighters finish up Super League. And I'm tipping I suppose probably the other bookie's favourite is, of course, Proab. So be interesting to see how they travel Friday night. Great bowl. Oh, it's trailed on, unfortunately. So Pipes just maybe into the ditch there. Yep, just trails off.
Yeah, score 8-1 to Hooded Life. They're also winning in the triples 6-2. Over in the other rinks, we see that it's 3-all in the pairs against Team Gecko and Mulgrave Diggers, and Team Gecko are up 5-1. So it looks as though at this stage that Team Gecko are comfortably into the finals of the Thursday night section.
They're pretty solid performers, haven't they, Phil? They did well last time as well.
Yes, they have.
Yep.
Yeah, they have.
Mike Watts.
And it's the same group of bowlers who often go and play together with groups. I know they certainly go up to Bendigo and play. It's a similar group that when I was at Mount Eliza, same group of people where we all went away. And what it did is it bettered our bowls, and it made the club more competitive.
So what are you saying?
Certainly,
Going to Echuca as a group and drinking 10 pots each night and made you better bowlers, did it?
No, well, for a start, it builds camaraderie, definitely. And what it does do is it actually puts you in a position where you play against better bowlers and you can learn from it. And there is no question of doubt in my mind that the better bowlers you play, that your level and standard of bowls also increases without doubt.
Correct.
Okay, so, and you learn from them how to play, how to read heads and what sort of shots to play. And you realise it's all not about drawing, but you learn it's about covering bowls, and it's about slightly weighted shots as well, particularly with the modern bowl, which don't turn as much. So you'll find because of that, there's more bowls in the way, and you need to look at playing onto bowls, pushing through bowls, or even working off bowls. So there's a lot more involved. It's more like a game of billiards these days than in the old days where they had the big wide turners where you could get around certain short bowls. You can still do it, don't get me wrong, but it has brought in a totally different skill set these days, and you do need to, as you progress from league to second to third, have more shots in your armoury than a simple draw bowl. Don't get me wrong, you've got to be a very good draw bowler as you progress and become a skip or a third, but in saying that, you also need to be able to do slightly weighted shots, 1 metre on, 2 metres on, and to look for bowls so that you might be able to take one bowl out and get 4 of those. Okay, and a very good example of those who watched that was, you know, the match in the Vic Open that I didn't see a shot, but my partner Leonie saw it, and we were down on the card. But what she did is she saw it and she took out their shot bowl, and it actually gave us 4 or 5. It was a massive turnaround, and could well say that it basically won the semi-final because of it. So you need to be able to look for and see those types of shots. Now, to do that, you need to have your shots in the head so that you can play those type of shots, and that's where your front end is really, really important, that you're able to have shots in the head where you can look at pushing bowls in or taking opposition bowls out.
That's great. I'm pretty sure that Hooded Life just picked up 1 there.
Well,
Best way to find out.
have a look at the scoreboard. 9-1.
As this bowl's coming in, we'll just quickly swap over and just show you what the... So it's just cut across, but yeah, you can see the scoreboard there. And Team Gecko 5-3 in the triples, but down in the pairs. Ken, folks, any queries, just put them through. Jeff Hunter, loves your comment, Phil. Great.
Jeffy Hunter. Man, are you back in Australia?
And Mike Watts watching in from Wales. I always get Mike, he jumps on. So I'm saying 10 hours. 10 hours.
Pronounce his town in
I'm
Wales.
not even going there.
Pronounce it.
Aberystwyth.
There's a Y there. Aberystwyth. Yes. Nope, Jeff's still in Thailand, so he's watching from Thailand.
North or South Thailand, Jeff? Would be interesting. I was just in Chiang Mai. It was absolutely sensational.
Well, I think he's in the north, and they treat him like a god, so no wonder he's still there.
Yep. Spent 20 days in Chiang Mai and had a ball.
He must be due to be coming back shortly. Surely he's... he certainly is a dual member here and is here often. Be good to see you again, Jeffy boy, on your return.
So Hooded Life looks to be holding 2.
Well, there's a perfect shot there for the Marvels. You can see the two orange bowls sitting out there, one on the wing. I mean, you're in on that. You can get a wick in and sit it. I think Todd's going to try and play their shot first. If he's smart, he'll try and change the head a little bit.
Jeez, gotta like that.
Great bowl. So Jeffy Hunter's saying he's in the northeast, and he says thanks. Such a gentleman. Stop laughing, Jeff. Yes.
Oh, Russ has got this
yes,
in. He's got it
here's
nicely.
The shot. Oh, yes. A lovely bowl. Lovely bowl. And a toucher. Still resting on it. Well, Todd just arrives on it. Will be the shot that he said that he'll play. I agree with that. Sure, he doesn't need my approval. Well, it's starting to swing, needs to hold, and I think you'll find he'll rest into the ones at the front. Oh, okay. Still has a bowl to come.
Bit wide there from Russ. Of course, Russ winning 21-10 in the singles.
He bowled very well. That's for sure.
Something about left-handers, isn't it, Phil?
Well, left footers too, I might add.
They just look more sporty. It's got a bit more weight on it.
He needs to hang. Oh, yes, it's. Yes, and he does it.
Wow.
Probably maybe 2, maybe 3.
Holy guacamole.
Yep, 3. Well, the way it's going, it definitely looks as though what was probably anticipated. The Hooded Life and Team Gecko final.
Well,
Here he comes. Oh, no. No, just pulling up a little bit short. So that'll be 3.
1, 2. Just approaching quarter past. Wow. as such. Yep, couldn't agree with you more. Glad it's the internet, you're allowed to say your piece.
That was a fair shot, Toddy, wasn't it? Yes. He's bowling very well.
Nice reply.
Yes, very uncharacteristic first bowl. See if he can make up with his second.
And most of this crew, Phil, do you know, from Clayton, do you? Or?
Yeah, most are from Clayton. Yeah, well, they are Clayton. Scotty was, I think he may have even had a stint, maybe at Summerall, definitely a big connection at Hastings. Not sure if his mother still bowls down at Hastings. Then, you know, people do, you know, actually try and take bowls as far as they can go. So I know a few from down this area ended up playing up at Clayton. Going to Clayton. As has a fair group actually gone across to the Dandenong Club actually, so unfortunately left a fairly large hole at Somerville, and I think Somerville Bowling Club, and I think you can see the effect of that, unfortunately for them, is being relegated into Division 2. So it's been a while since Somerville's been out of Division 1 on the Mornington Peninsula, but that has created some issues. And then once you move into Division 2, unfortunately, you then get some players who, even though it is their club, are saying, well, hang on a minute, I want to play in the top division in my region. And so, unfortunately, some players then also move on to other clubs, and sometimes, you know, that's the case, and it may well be a neighbouring town, like say Hastings, for example. They may move to Hastings to play in a Division 1 team in that location, rather than Division 2.
Big shout out to Ronnie down there at Somerville. He gave us a call during the week, and we're going to give him a hand in September and January for some tournaments on a Sunday there.
He's a great man, is that man.
Yes.
Tireless worker down there, and I have some empathy for Ronnie as well. Holding the fort, and does a bucket load of work, multiple jobs down there, multiple jobs. One of which was a big clean of their surface, which came up beautifully. So
I used to work with Ronnie at Blue Scope.
All right.
Many years. Geez, would have been 2005.
Careful. Yeah, but you every now and then get some movement. There was a bit of movement from a couple of Southern Peninsula clubs as well some time ago. You need to do is try and build stability in your club. And the main thing then is to bring on your bowlers as well. What you like to do is see your bowlers improve and move up divisions and build a stronger base for your club.
Some tipping Russ has picked up 2 there.
But in saying that, Pete, you do not, you can't get angry with people who, rather than be a big fish in a small pond, are actually looking to see how far they can actually go in their bowls. So if you see these people moving on to you know, clubs like MCC, Dandenong, Clayton, moving into the, you know, the premier type divisions, you can't fault them for that.
No, that's the whole evolution process.
Yeah, and you know, far be it that you know, at least you finish your bowling days and say, well, I gave it my best and this is how far I got. Far better you do that than just stay in your local region. So yeah,
2.
good luck to them. And I mean, you'll see that Sammy Atkinson, for argument's sake, down in Gippsland. She's now at Richmond Union, for argument's sake. But whilst being a successful swimmer in her youth, she, you know, is making, you know, bowls. She wants to go as far as she can. She's made the state team, and I'm sure she has visions on trying to improve that. And for that to happen, she has to look at a premier type club to be able to do those sort of things, to be recognised, to play in all these different tournaments. I mean, saying that, you know, you have to have partners who facilitate that, who support you in that, and you have to have the time in work to also be able to go to those type of things. So you're looking at ranking points as well, but you want to be seen by the selectors. So it's, I think you get a window of opportunity in your life every now and then, and it's these sort of things you've got to grasp them and go for them, and not look back in your life and go, you know what, if only, if only, if only.
Well, it's similar to football and cricket. If, you know, your junior clubs want to push you along and want to see you succeed, so there's an old saying, you always come back.
Yes.
So it's
well, exactly. And if you come back with you know, greater skills and greater knowledge that you can pass on to other members, and Christ, you know, those sort of people would be brilliant as coaches or mentors at clubs. There's no question or doubt about that.
looks skinny, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And light.
Just needs to get around. Nice reply there from the Marvels. Matt Chip asking for scores on the other rink. We'll just
We can do that. We try and do it as regular as possible. On the other rink, Hooded LYFE and the triples are up 9-3. Team Gecko down to Mulgrave Diggers in the pairs. Mulgrave Diggers 8, Team Gecko 4. However, it's reversed in the triples, where Team Gecko 11 leading Mulgrave Diggers, who are 3. Another comment there is Timmy Gold is letting us now know that Clayton is now one of 2 Melbourne Metro clubs to have a premier, be in the premier, have a Division 1 and a Division 2. So it mentions a number of good players have already come in. So I think because of that, they're probably getting more players coming in as well. Clayton are very strong and have a club and have been a strong club for many years.
Well, the clock's ticking down. We've just got over 37 minutes left in playtime. Todd's bowl probably just a touch short. Does look to have it, but it's good to see if it's there. And as Russell Dowling comes in now.
I see the I see a pink hoodie over amongst the crowd. That probably means that Michael Stanley has arrived to watch, perhaps.
He'd be in shorts, wouldn't he?
He's always in shorts. Correct, but of course he's had a stint at a few clubs. He certainly had a stint at Clayton as well and knows these players very well.
Pretty well known around the bowling, or the southern, I'll call it the southern bowling community.
And beyond.
I reckon they're holding on there at the moment.
Okay, we have a mention from Scene saying, where is City of Frankston playing in Metro Pennant? Well,
Come on, Phil.
I know the answer,
Oh,
but it's not up to me to make that announcement. I'd rather wait till the City of Frankston and Bowls Victoria make that. But
4,
I have
3,
I've
5.
I've heard a little, certainly heard a little whisper, but it's not my position to do it. I know, obviously, City of Frankston are hoping for as high as they can get.
Which would be a 2 or 3, I reckon, for them.
So, yes. Can't comment. Obviously, it's up to the powers that be, City of Frankston and also Bowls Victoria, to make those sort of announcements.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Here comes a drive. Bang!
Is that the best scatter that I tell you, that has knocked at least 6 bowls out. Gives them 2.
Well, 2 actually to the Marvels.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Good hit though.
So that takes it to 6-12. So our differential of 2 at the halfway mark could still start to come into effect. We go to the triples. The score is, Phil.
Ooh. Yeah, 9-3 to Hooded LYFE.
Hooded LYFE. So at the moment they've got a.
I mean, in saying that, Hooded LYFE just need to.
They've got a 14-shot lead at the moment.
Well, they can afford to probably win one and draw one, and still. So, if they win both, they're home and hosed. So it'll be interesting to see how they've put their team in for next week, unless something drastic happens here.
I think they're starting to bowl well, the Marvel team. Just a touch long. Yep, Charlie, fantastic drive there. And Tim Cole, correct, only their first side. Sean's asking for a bit more info, Phil. Don't worry, Sean, I'll get it out of him.
Wayne Stephen asked an interesting comment. Do the Bowls Club ask to enter Metro, or does Bowls Vic offer an opportunity? Okay, well in this instance I believe that it was asked. I think there were some opportunities with perhaps a club closing, unfortunately, or a club amalgamating, or clubs amalgamating. So it does leave something in that regard. Frankston certainly sort of add a little bit of ammunition, having won Division 1 down here midweek and also on Saturday, and then they also, I think they actually won the midweek up there, at least one of the 2. So yeah, that certainly helped. But you know, there are people sort of saying that unfortunately does have an effect on our local region, and people have a right to have that opinion, of course.
So Russ there.
The big question, though, in that point, though,
I know where you're going here, Phil.
is no, you don't.
Right.
Is where do the players actually play their state events?
Oh, for which?
Yeah, for the MPBR, or do they do it for Metro? That's the question. And at this stage, my understanding is maybe that there may need to be some rule changes to accommodate. But I'm sure they'll work on it if that's the case. I still didn't mind the concept. I still didn't mind the concept of the region having a team in Metro.
That would be a great.
I really didn't mind that concept, right? But the clubs weren't just on board with that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I can understand.
I just imagine there'd be a squad that would be made up of players on the Mornington Peninsula, right? And if they didn't make that squad, they'd filter back into their home clubs.
Technically, it might be your representative squad.
Well, and then it becomes your rep almost,
I
and
know.
so then you're strong. I still like that concept, but trying to get everyone on board was difficult, and then you get people who are playing in their home clubs, and people would just drop back and expect to be in the top team, and I can understand there are those types of issues, but it's no different than your VFL playing and then your AFL where they filter up and down.
Well, it's like the FNL.
Yeah.
It'd be ideal, I think, for them to go to the Frankston VFL and then onwards for them. But
Yep.
lots of issues to get.
Oh, well, I think the problem is
Russ has done well
the more people you have involved, the more clubs, the less likelihood of getting a common acceptance, to be honest. And fair enough, you've got to think what's best for the MPBR, right? What is best for the MPBR, not just what's best for your club. I understand that, and I understand people's thoughts on that. Oh, he's talking drive.
Nah, just belled it. Yeah, he's getting out of the way.
Oh, I think he's going.
Picks up one. Now, the question would be, did his... No. Oh, yeah, just the one shot. So that'll take it to 13-6. Just clocked over 9:30, so I've got about 26 minutes left. Great viewers and great numbers tuning in. So we like live streaming our bowls on a Tuesday and a Thursday night.
Well, we're not competing against the footy, mate, are we?
With all soccer, so soccer's been great of late with the Matildas getting through.
That's true. Yep. So, so the finals are, will be played on a Thursday night, as far as Super League's concerned. Again, we thank our sponsors. I know we do it a little bit, but we'll say it again. Yep, that is, yes, a bit hard. No, thank you. Does the sidestep and gives us a look with a grin. Yes, so we thank our sponsors. Our major sponsor, gold sponsor, is Momentum Gaming. We thank them. Silver, Crowder Community Real Estate, for your real estate needs on the Mornington Peninsula. We have then our bronze. We have ProHab, choice, power of choice for your commercial and industrial electrical needs. Anthony Baldwin at ProHab, a member of our club and a great contributor and a very ever-improving bowler indeed. The resting toucher, Andy Alexandru, who is up at the Brighton Bowling Club up there. He has a shop up there, but if you purchase any goods, he will bring them to the club here, and you can collect. So we do assist in that matter as well. And of course, Max Australia, who made Skyedome and in fact do canvas canopy covers on bowling greens and also other facilities such as outside auditoriums and car parking canopies. So Max Australia, we thank them as well for their sponsorship. So we thank them, and of course Pure Plant Protein, Pete.
It'll be here, Miles assures me, folks. Be here Tuesday.
The company that doesn't exist.
It does. Fantastic.
Oh, so it'll turn up when I'm not here, Pete. Is that what you're saying?
You're not here Tuesday?
No, I fly to Queensland tomorrow.
How long for, Phil?
Good 10 days. So, yeah, getting up there. Leona's playing in the Australian indoors, and then a niece's wedding after that, Pete, up on an island in North Queensland. So looking forward to that.
Is this Crowder Island, is it? Or
I wish. Oh, dear.
Here's this little clip there. Actually, we were just talking on Halftime Heroes in Sport about the amount of people travelling at the moment that normally play sport.
Yeah.
And it is affecting local team sport. The amount of
absences.
Yeah.
Well, we find that with one of our teams on Friday, actually, because they have a player that's going on a holiday, but many people are starting to do that now, aren't they? So we are finding now that our social games, example, are Wednesday triples, where we have a morning and afternoon session. Both of those are full because we have people returning from northern Queensland. And fairer places. Quite a few people are venturing overseas. Quite a few doing river cruises and cruises through the Mediterranean, people.
As you would do. So anyone in the Adriatic, you're more than welcome to Airbnb at my house. So
you got a house there, Pete?
It's just on a pleasant little island in Lastova. So
whereabouts is that, Peter?
It's just off the coast of Croatia.
Get out.
Yes. So
my brother-in-law family has a little place on an island off the coast in Croatia as well.
I'd say
Sustanovic.
Oh, another itch.
Another itch.
There's itches everywhere.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. Yeah, you told me about that.
So, so you're halfway between Croatia and Italy. So
nice. It's meant to be beautiful there. Another drive. In off, bang bang. Oh.
He's pushed it back. Chucks it down to 1.
Pretty accurate with those drives.
Oh, gee, Phil. You've been ratted out. You've absolutely been ratted out.
Seen. Rumour has it that Phil put a wrong bias down at the Grand Masters last weekend in Brighton. He's 100% correct, Peter. And I tell you what, was perfect weight and perfect line too. I was very disappointed with it. Oh dear. Yes, I did is the answer to that. Thanks, Sean.
You always get them. And we can say the score is 7-13. How are we going in the other rinks, Phil?
14, 7-14.
7-14.
Correct. Over in the triples, Hooded Life are up 9-6. Over with Team Gecko versus Mulgrave Diggers in the pairs. Team Gecko are down 4-11, and it's 11 all in the triples. But of course, they had a massive 24-shot differential. So again, doesn't matter if they lose both these matches; they're not going to break down the 24-shot differential, and that came with a 17-shot win in the singles. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for sure.
It's the great man, Michael Stanley, in the background there. Jesus, a gentleman, isn't he?
Yes, oh look, he's putting the coat on Pam Grigson's knees. What a gentleman he is. Right. 9:40, another 10 minutes and the 10-minute warning bell will go. Huey Lewis and the... was it Huey Lewis and the News, was it? Is that the band? It's playing out there, I hear the music.
Yes, it is. I've got some earphones in at the moment, folks. So, yes, it is. So, and that's, of course, Magic 1278. That's playing at the moment. Part of the Ace Radio Network.
Somebody told me they have a shop down in Mornington, haven't they?
Phil, they've got a little shop where I suppose they host their customers down there for 3MP.
Mm-hmm.
And again, part of the Race Radio Network, and it's just right behind Doc.
Okay.
Just in the new complex there, so we do our podcast there. How's that?
Great bowl by Todd there. He's bowled extremely well.
Well, with looking at 18 minutes left, I say the shot differential now starting to get a bit tight. Marvels needed a 3-shot difference. They're probably currently down about 7+.
Okay, so the main point here is more the win at this stage than it gets close. I can tell you though, with the triples, it's been reduced to 10-6, so only 4 shots in front there now.
So the shot differential still is the issue, plus the win issue. So they need one win.
Yeah, correct.
He's got plenty of room out the back there for insurance.
So he asked, what do you reckon? Well, yes. Basically everything behind is Hooded Life, so I think he's just got to try and just draw and come in.
Hey Gary, how you going? How do the finals work, Phil?
Oh. All right.
But we might just quickly give a score update for Jamie Ellison.
Jamie, where have you been, my friend? We've just done it. But I'm happy to do it for you, my friend. Okay.
Just tuned in.
So here we go. All right, so match with Hooded Life versus the Marvels. So Hooded Life ended up first, Marvels fourth in the round robin. They're winning the pairs, Hooded Life, 14-7, and they're winning the triples 10-6. They also won the fours but lost the singles. All right, and before we started the second session, there was a 2-shot differential with the same number of wins. So at this stage, Hooded Life are looking comfortable. As far as Team Gecko and Mulgrave Diggers, Team Gecko ended second, Mulgrave Diggers ended third. The Team Gecko won the singles by 17 shots and the fours by 7. So they have 2 wins with a shot differential of plus 24. Okay, at the minute they're down in the pairs 5-14, and the scores as far as the triples are concerned is 11 shots each. So they are sort of 9 shots down as far as the pairs is concerned, but even Stevens at this stage in the triple. So 9, that's 9 off the 24. So, but looks as though Team Gecko will certainly go through there. So there you go, Jamie. Now, the question about the finals. All right. So, sorry for those who've been following us for some time, but this is what happens. We have 3 sections on a Tuesday, a Thursday and a Friday night. There were 6 teams in each. They play each other once, so that's 5 weeks. It's a round robin. The top 4 teams at the end of the round robin, all right, play off in the semis, and we're playing the semis here. We had the first one on Tuesday, we have this one tonight, and the next one on Friday. First plays 4th, second plays 3rd. The 2 winners play next week, all right, for the sectional, to be the sectional winner, okay, finish first place. So we'll, by the end of next week, we'll have a sectional winner for Tuesday night session, Thursday night session and Friday night session. So that's 3 of those winners go straight into the ultimate final to play. But we needed to have 4 people in to make it. So what we did is the second place winners, the ones that lose to the winners, second place, all the following Tuesday play against each other in a revised session where they're only playing pairs and triples for an hour, and those 3 second place teams from Tuesday, Thursday and Friday play against each other, and whoever wins that becomes the 4th person to join the other 3 sectional winners in the ultimate final. Now we randomly draw those 4 teams to who plays who, and they play the semis, and that'll be on the Thursday, and then the following Thursday will be the grand final where the losers play off for 3rd and 4th and the winners play off for 1st and 2nd, and of course first prize being $5,000.
5 gorillas.
Yes. So I hope I kind of I hope that kind of helps. Yeah, so the confusion was how do the finals work with 6 teams left after tomorrow. And that was exactly the problem that I had there, seeing. So that's how we sorted it out. We thought that we'd do that, get the ultimate winners to make up the 4th, so we had an even 4 teams in the ultimate semi-finals. We would introduce it so where second place get a second chance. And I must admit it's been looked at very favourably by the teams as well, because it's a chance they haven't got. So even changing the format, someone said, well, why isn't it the same format? But in all due respect, the second places would be gone and dusted anyway. This actually gives them the chance, so they shouldn't be complaining about the fact that it's a changed format. And in fact, none of them disagree. They're sort of disagreeable with that aspect of it as well. And that should be a really interesting night, actually.
I think that would be one of the best nights, I think, Phil.
Yeah,
So Russ
They're
Dowling,
trying again. Seeing's trying again. Nice work, Phil. And City of Frankston are playing where? You will not get it out of me.
I'm going to say 3.
Pardon?
I'm going to go to Sportsbet and say 3.
I won't even enter into a conversation. It is not my place to discuss it. I'm sure all will come to fruition in the very near future.
So Ross Dowling now, he's been bowling very well tonight. So
Oh, ring the bell.
Bill's going to ring the bell. And the score moves to 15-7. 16-7. They picked up 2 there. Nice shot to start off from Pipes.
HOODED LYFE also picked up on the triples, the pairs as well. Sorry, the triple. Just waiting for them to update the scoreboard. One shot, so 13-6. 16-7 here in the pairs. Team Gecko moved ahead in the triples, up 14-11. Team Gecko 6-14 down in the pairs. So 14 ends, I'd say this is
Might sneak another one in.
probably the 15 ends, of course, and they stop. So quite a few teams are probably almost all finished before the 10 ends, with 10 ends to go. So this is the 14th end which we're watching, so pretty well moves in at the hour and a half. Fairly good. The triples are at 13 ends as well. The pairs over there, 15 Gecko, and I'll go Vickers in ring 4. It says 14 ends. They're still trying to work out the scorecards, it looks like. Really is something that they do need to mention after each end so that we don't have any.
So at this stage of proceedings, we've got about 7 minutes left, but it looks like Team Gecko and HOODED LYFE proceeding.
It does, it does. I think most probably expected that would be the result. So the top 2 teams that finished after the round robin looks as though they will be progressing their way through. I've been called Quasimodo. I'm assuming that's because of the bell and not my hunched shoulders, Pete.
It could be Phil. I'm not gonna...
We might just have another look at where our viewers are from. I just find it interesting.
Great that we're up to 408 followers, so really happy with that.
Yeah, excellent news. 4 from the Gold Coast now. Another 2. Of course, a lot of people in the Moreton Peninsula are holidaying up there on the Gold Coast, so well could be them as well. Regular 2 from Hayfield, Sale. Still have Iraq, Pete.
Yeah, United States 2 in from there. Fiji, couple, 3.
Yep.
Canada. Is it Whistler that's in Canada?
Sorry?
Whistler?
I think so.
Or was that...
Or is that America?
America.
Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate it. You were up.
2-2.
As in which team?
So Hooded LYFE pick up another 2, I believe.
Yep. 4 minutes to go.
Just updating the scores now.
So it looks at this stage as though we'll be saying goodbye to Team Marbles and also the Mulgrave Diggers. And it's always sad when we get to this stage that teams drop off. But they've all commented how much they've enjoyed the series, and certainly are looking forward to joining again next year. As I said, we actually went from 2 nights to 3 nights and 6 teams, and we filled that comfortably before we started, so it's something that we see is definitely is growing bigger and bigger. We've learnt a few things, we come across different situations during the course of the event, so we'll certainly be looking at reviewing the being able to register 8 players. We've had a couple of cases where we've had to look at our own subs that we've had, and we've had a format in that if a sub was needed, they couldn't fill their team, that we would start at the top of a list and keep phoning down until we got an answer from somebody. I think we need to readdress that. Because the whole idea of that, Pete, is that it's not meant to be seen as an advantage in having a sub, and in some cases some of the subs at the start, I think, strengthened perhaps the teams. It could be argued, maybe not. So we have to look at tweaking that, and we don't know it, but we've made decisions on that which we think are fair. And sat down with all parties and discussed it. So it's been an interesting situation. Do know that our format is being used in other places. I know all the rules and everything have been asked by a club in Adelaide metro area who are looking at introducing it, as well as a club also in Western Australia. So fairly proud, and they're not competing with us, so I was more than happy to give them a copy of the format and the ads and everything that we do as well. So we wish them well in bringing that competition into fruition in their clubs as well.
As we go down to about 40 seconds before the bell. So this may see the end here. I don't think we'll get another end in. So Hooded LYFE holding 1 here at the moment as Russell heads down his. There it goes. I think Russell just snuck in there. Oh, might to advantage. No. So Hooded LYFE holding one there. Russell shoots down. It'll be his last bowl as the two shake hands. So they'll call it, that'll be one shot there, which will make it 19. So let's jump over to the scoreboard there and just get some updates. So 19-7 and 13-7. That match is just concluding as we speak, but I don't think there's any risk there. Team Gecko down on the triples. So on the triples, 6-20, but leading at the moment, sorry, 16-12 leading in the triples, but Team Gecko down to the Mulgrave Diggers 26, but I think on goal, on shot difference, but Team Gecko get through there. Folks, it's been a great night. Again, thanks to Phil Crowder for helping us out. It's really great to have his support and knowledge and information. Again, if there's anyone out there who wants to come down and give us a hand at commentating while I muck around with the buttons, more than welcome. It's been a great night. So unfortunately, I'm not here tomorrow night. I'm up the Dandenongs, but next week, next Tuesday, we'll do it all again and do all the finals until we get a winner for the next 2 weeks. It's been a great evening. Again, thanks again, and we'll catch you next week. All the best for the rest of the week.